Hey artists, today we're going to be making some winter polar bears. We're going to add some shadows to him. We're going to add a little bit of water to our marker to give it this paint look, and then add some snow in the background. So follow along with me and I'll show you all the steps. The first thing we're going to do is draw out the polar bear. To start, we're going to start right in the center. And in the center, we're going to make kind of a rounded triangle to be his nose. And we will just kind of leave a line in the center to be where the shine is on his nose, and then color around that. The next thing we're going to do is draw an oval shape that goes around his nose, almost kind of like a triangle too, where it's a little bigger in the corners. So it's going to go up and down and then kind of out and out to be where his nose is. Next, we're going to give him two eyes. And we're going to make two circles and then two small circles inside. And then we're going to color all around with our black marker, leaving that little shine in his eye on both sides. Next, we're going to draw the polar bear's head. So we're just going to kind of go around in a circle all around. So it's going to kind of come out and over. And there's his little face. Next, we're going to give him two half circle ears. And then the little center part of his ear. And then we're going to do his body as one big kind of upside down U shape. So we're going to go from the bottom of the page, and we're going to go up all the way to the top, as far as we can go, all the way to the top, all the way back down and down. That will be the body. To make his feet, we're going to make kind of a rainbow line in the center to show in between his little legs, and then we're going to put a rainbow line here and here to be the feet, and then we will have the little spots where his toes are, and then that will be some snow down there for us to draw right there. So the next thing we're going to do is get out our black crayon and add some shadows here. Once you've got your black crayon, the first thing we're going to do is add a shadow around his nose. So just with your black crayon, we're going to just lightly color a little shadow around his nose. And this will make his fur kind of stand out and come more to life. The next thing we're going to do is just add it a little darker on this left side to make it show up a little more. And the next thing we're going to do is the same thing around his head. So just light shadow around the edge with your black crayon all the way around. Adding some shadow around this guy. Our winter polar bear, nice and white. We're going to put some shadow inside of his ear right here. And over here, and a little bit around his ear. So just pushing lightly with our black crayon, adding a little shadow. And kind of like we did on the nose, we're going to make it a little darker on the left side. Just showing that the light is kind of shining down this way. Making the shadow bigger on this side. I'm pushing so light to make it kind of fade out like that. We could put a little shadow by his eye too. The next thing we're going to do is add that shadow all around his body. So we're just pushing a little harder at the edge, and then a little bit lighter, lighter, lighter as we go into his white fur. Just adding a little shadow. We can add some around here too. just lightly pushing and coloring that shadow in all around the polar bear's body. Sometimes it helps to turn your paper so you can get all those angles. All right. And then we want to put some shadows on his feet. Taking your crayon, pushing hard at the edge, and then lightening it up as you go toward the center of that white snowy fur. Get some in there. All right, now we've got, I'm going to add, this will kind of show where his neck comes down. So we'll just put a little bit of a shadow kind of in a U shape right there, just to give him a little more dimension. And then we are ready to start doing the background. So now you're going to have a purple marker, and I'd like you to get a little cup of water. If you have a paintbrush, that can be helpful. And if not, I even tried using my finger and that worked fine, or a wet paper towel. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to kind of draw this horizon line behind him right here. So I go there and I go whoop, to the other side. And we are going to color this whole area above him with purple marker. So it's like a nighttime sky in the snow. So you're just going to take your marker, and all through this area, we're going to color in behind him with our purple marker. Once you have that all colored in purple, then we're going to add just a little bit of that purple area right here. Just a little bit right here underneath him. And maybe just a little shadow of purple down here next to him on the snow. So just like a little bit here in the corner, and in this corner too, we're going to add a little bit of purple marker here, just along his body, and then going out into the snow just a little bit. Okay, now this is the fun part. If you have a paintbrush, you can just dip it in the water. We're not slopping a ton of water on. And you can just take that water, and we're just going to kind of brush back and forth. And what it does is it brings that purple down on the snow, and it just looks like you've got a little bit of a shadow on the snow from the purple. Now, like I said, some of my friends don't have a paintbrush. You can really just dip your finger in the water and smush it around and get that same effect. Oh my gosh, these shadows look so cool behind our polar bear. Now you do want to be careful, because you can see right there I got a little bit on the black, and that will move too because we use those washable markers. So be careful to only get that purple spot. And we're just adding a little bit of water to where we put the purple, and it puts this really cool shadow on our snow. And like I said, if you have a paintbrush, that can make a cool area too. And we're just kind of fading it around into a little shadow on your snow. Now, the final step that really makes these polar bears pop out and look awesome is grabbing your white crayon, and we're gonna make little snowflakes on top of the purple marker. So it makes this have a much more put together look. So you're just gonna take this, and you're gonna draw little round circles with your white crayon all over that night sky, and it looks like the snow is falling here onto this part of our snow. Now, if you put way too much water on your paper, it's going to be really delicate here, so I would wait to color right there so you don't accidentally rip your paper, because right now it's a little wet. So now that we're adding the snow on top, It's making our picture look so cool. It's a great winter picture. And I'll do the other side. Just adding the snowflakes coming down. I can imagine being there at the North Pole and it just being so quiet and everything blanketed with snow and our beautiful night sky kind of glowing, and putting all of our snowflakes here. Love it. Looks really nice. And everybody's bears are going to look different. The first time I did it, I think the eyes were a little closer together, and it'll just look different every time. You can add some snow down here too. All right, and once you have added your snow to your picture, you are all done with your winter polar bear. I can't wait to see yours.